guys, you're welcome to Explore Beyond Self. I am Dorcas. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer, a happy storyteller, your host. Thank you for finding your way back to my channel. To my new subscribers, thank you for your views, your comments, for sharing the link. Thank you. All these are push for me to continue. Well, 2020 has been a dramatic year in the history of the world, starting from the coronavirus pandemic to our nation Nigeria, from the end-SARS protests and even to the bloody Tuesday. And with all these occurrences, we are forced to see life as mere fickle, here today and within your slightest imagination, gone. But relax, there is another thought about life, and that's what requires of first year in this book, What on Earth Am I Here For? The expanded edition of the Purpose-Driven Life. Contrary to the popular saying, make the most out of it, this book tells you, put your most on it. And contrary to the self-help principle step of discovering and working in life's purpose, check out your abilities, your interests, your potential, AI, set a goal, be determined, pursue it, and boom, begin to work in your life's purpose. Requiring tells you, girl, guy, take your gaze upon yourself and to God, because on this journey of discovery and working in purpose, it's not about you, but about God. Let me just say this. I actually got this book last year, November, after I went for a particular seminar and we advised to read more. And with that vibe, I went to the bookshop, got the book, and guess what? I didn't read it. I know you're also guilty about it. Relax, we are plenty that are guilty of it. When we leave a seminar, we are so motivated to go get the book, and most often we end up not reading it. So earlier this year, I was done with college already, and life became a boring routine for me. Just doing the same normal choice every day. And questions like, what on earth am I here for, began to pop in. So I remember, I have a book. I got a book last year. What on earth am I here for? So I dashed away and kept it on. You won't believe it was already dusty. I just studied as I began to flip through the pages of the book. Answers to my spoken and unspoken questions were provided. So therefore, I recommend this book to every family, to every home, to every teenager, to every gentleman, every gentle lady out there. Sorry, are they gentle ladies? Yes, they are gentle ladies. To every gentleman and ladies out there. It is a worthwhile 42 days journey on discovering life's purpose, and it's worth having in your library. Don't be scared of the diction. The author uses simple words, so you do not need a dictionary beside you to enjoy this book. Well, before we explore this book in detail, let's have a peep about the author's life. Unquestionably, Dr. Rick Warren is America's most influential and highest profile spiritual leader. He is the founding pastor of Saddleback Church and lead a 30,000 member congregation in California and major campuses around the world. As a theologian, he has lectured in Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, University of Judaism, and dozens of universities and seminars. As a global strategist, he advises world leaders. He has spoken to United Nations, US Congress, and other several parliaments. He's also the founder of the Global Peace Plan, which plans churches of reconciliation, equip leaders, access the poor, care for the sick, and educates the next generation in 186 countries. Wow, what a profile he's got. I think therefore it's important for us to share in his thoughts of what on earth am I here for. Let's go as we finally explore this book. What on earth am I here for? The author began on a very sad note. He began by giving reasons why many may never discover purpose, and ironically, he ended on the same sad note. Reason why many may discover purpose and yet not work in it. According to him, on your quest to discovering purpose, you begin from a very wrong note. You start with self-centered questions like, what are my goals? What are my abilities? What are my dreams? What are my ambitions? And starting the gaze upon yourself. By following self-help, predictable steps of discovering life's purpose, you can only but achieve success. And the certain that you can be so successful and yet miss out on purpose. And that's because success is just achieving a goal, while purpose is all about God. The author gave an analogy using a product, a producer, and its manual. That when a product is given to you, only the manual and the producer that can successfully tell you what the product is meant for, or else the product will be misused. So on this journey of discovering and working in purpose, with a gaze upon yourself, you can only but achieve success and then miss out in purpose. So it is important, therefore, for you to know what drives your life. According to the author, what drives your life is what he sees as a life metaphor. He said your unspoken life metaphor influences your life more than you realize, determines your goals, your expectations, your values, your relationships, as well as your priorities. So the push and the motive behind what you're doing right now, behind the decisions you take daily, as a result of your life metaphor. And he identified 5 wheels that drives people. And sadly enough, all these drives end on the same dead note: unused potential, unnecessary stress, and an unfulfilled life. The first drive, as identified by the author, are people driven by guilt. These are people running away from their regrets and hiding their shame. So everything they do literally on earth is as a result of their life metaphor, which is guilt. Others are driven by anger and resentment. These are people that lay hold on their hearts, so they allow their past hurt to control their future. Others are driven by fear. This fear could be due to genetic predisposition, traumatic experiences, or probably unrealistic expectation. These are people who tend to maintain the status quo, avoid risk, and they always miss out in opportunities. Others are driven by materialism. The need to acquire is what drives their life. So they determine their self-worth by how much they acquire. But this set of people feel that achievements are eventually surpassed. Records are broken. Reputations fade, and tributes are forgotten. And the last set of people, or the last set of drive that the author identified, are those driven by need for approval. These are people that live their life in total control of the expectations of others. So in this book, the author identified 3 true life metaphors that should drive your life. 3 true life metaphors, that is the way you should truly see this life, as identified in the Bible. According to the author, God sees life in 3 different metaphors. First, life is a test. Second, life is a trust. And third, life is a temporary assignment. Life as a test. The author explained that all through the Bible, God has and still is testing people's character, loyalty, trust, integrity, obedience, faith through our responses to situations, circumstances, conflict, success, failure, and even as little as your weather condition. Because it is in your responses that your character is both revealed and developed. Second, life as a trust. According to the author, your energy, your time, your abilities, your potential, your intellect, your relationship, all has been entrusted to you by God. So you are mere stewards of them. And how you use it, you're going to give a detailed account of how you use it. And finally, life is a temporary assignment. That compared to eternity, life here on earth is just for a blink. So there is more to life after it. And the way you spend your life on earth determines where you're going to spend your eternity. Therefore, the author identified what should drive your life. Understanding the true life metaphor, then there should be a drive for your life from henceforth. So the author identified what should drive your life, for your life to be so meaningful, and for you to work in purpose. What should drive your life is what he identified as the purpose-driven life. Yes, there is a wheel called the purpose, and the purpose-driven life is what should truly drive your life on this quest to discovering and finding purpose. So what then is purpose? Well, the author defined a purpose-driven life as a life guided, controlled, and directed by God's purpose. So you see, on your journey to discovering life's purpose, it's not about you, it's not about your happiness, but all about God. And in this book, they also identify 5 purposes why everyone was created. You know, prior to the time I read this book, I had always thought about purpose as career and ministry. Well, it's part of the purpose, but not the totality of purpose. So the author identifies 5 purposes why everyone is created, why you are on earth. And those 5 purposes will be exploring it on our next video. Thank you for staying tuned with me on Explore Beyond Self. Before we leave, keep this at heart. Without purpose, life on earth is motion without meaning, activity without direction, and events without reason. It's been a beautiful time thus far, right? Because some ideologies that you care about life are being rattled. Yeah, that's the beauty of exploring beyond self. And until we meet, remember, my tongue is the pen of a ready writer, a happy storyteller, your host. Bye.